to a very special edition of the Stretch Drive. It's Friday afternoon, alongside Paul Clark. This is Michael Anderson. We're poolside.
Poolside on a hot summer day.
Poolside, it's beautiful out. It's hot outside, Mike. The racing's hot on the track. We're here to give you some winners for Saturday night. Check us out, stretchdrive.blogspot.com. We're also on Twitter at stretchdriving, and the proud sponsor of Stretch Driving, Zambistro's Restaurant, Main Street, Medina. Check them out. Give them a call, 585-798-2433. Also, zambistros.com. Go there. Tell Mike, ask for Mike or Kara. Tell them the Stretch Drive crew sent you. They'll treat you real good, and you'll have the best meal you ever had. Mike, you ready to get down to some picks?
Let's get down to our picks.
All right, Saturday night kicks it off. First half of the Daily Double, Class B, optional 12.5 claimer. First half of the double, exacta try wagering. I went to the two Rock the Dream, Ryan Swift and Ray Fisher. Team up on this one. This one was a nice winner last week in 157-1. For second, I went to a little bit of a price. I think the one Endeavor's Pride got claimed for $20,000 on November 16th by Kathy Weller. Chris Nadel trains. His barn's been hot this week. Saturday night had a 50-1 shot winner. I think this one's going to be very aggressive in here. I like this horse. For third, the three Lots of Lovin', Lee Don and Denny Boo team up for this one. I like them to be part of the try.
Well, I agree with you. I went to the Ryan Swift, Ray Fisher combination again. Rock the Dream. Winning 57-1 last start. Draws back inside. Up in class a little bit, but I don't think that's going to matter here. For second, I went to Way to Go Fabio. Another winner in the last start, 57-3. I think he's going to get a nice trip in here. And for third, I rounded out with Nesh Cruiser out of the Sean McDonough barn. Probably sucking along, coming up late.
All right, moving on to race two, exacta try, win, play, show. First part of the pick four. It's a Class A, optional 17.5 claimer. Very good event here, Mike. I went to the 6, Black is Back, dropping out of the Double A, getting leading driver Billy Davis. I just think this one's primed for a big effort here. It's his third start back. Last week's start was better than the first week. I like this one. I like him to win in here to start off the pick four. For second, I went to the 5, Daylight Rush, triple sticks, trains, and drives. This one was a very impressive winner against Lesser last week, but he won awful easily. For third, I like the 2, Santana Beach, moves back inside. Rick Trough, Kevin Cummings team up. I think this one will be very tough. I'm going to use him in the pick 5. I'm going to kick off the pick 5 with the 6, Black is Back, and Billy Davis Jr.
I agree with you right there. I went with the 6 also, getting Billy Davis Jr. leading driver. The 6 has been racing good. Now goes to Class A. Gonna get a little relief there, I think, and he's primed and ready to win. For second, I also did go to Daylight Rush. Dave McKnight, triple sticks here. Got to drive his own. He usually drives the 6. I think he's gonna be right there and be second. And to round out the triple, I went with Motor Shark off the rail with Drew Monty for the Riley Asher Stallbaum connection.
All right, moving on to race 3, exacta try, 10-cent superfecta betting to Class D, optional $4,000 claiming event. I went to the 3, Beccarama, moves back inside for Mike Baumeister. He trains and drives this one. I think this one will be right on the front end in here for Mike. For second, I went to the 1, Freaky Flyer. This one gets a huge driver change here to Billy Davis Jr., moves to the rail. I think this is a main danger in here. And for third, I went to the 2, Sunset Sid, sucking along for third. And for fourth, I went to the 5, Skull and Roses, who was much better last start than he was in his first. And I think he rounds out the super. For my top selection, I went to the 3, Beccarama, and the 1, Freaky Flyer, with the 2, Sunset Sid and Skull and Roses in race number 3.
Well, I went to the 1, Freaky Flyer, getting Billy Davis Jr. I think that's a huge driver change, draws a rail. For second, I went to Beccarama out of the Mike Baumeister barn. Really nice horse. I think he needs a couple starts, and he's going to be back to where he was last year. But I think he's definitely going to get second in here. For third, I went to Sunset Sid out of the hot Ryan Swift, Ray Fisher combination here. And to round out the superfecta, I did go with the 4, Windsong Lord. Nice start last week. I think he can come up and finish fourth there.
All right. Moving on to the 4th, exacta try, 10-cent super. It's a Class C for optional 75 claimers. I love the one in here, Oboe Hanover. Gets the rail, will go right down the road. Hasn't faced a bunch like this. I mean, this looks to me like it's a very weak C bunch. I really like Oboe Hanover in here. He's been facing B and A's. Kyle Cummings drives for Tony for Tony Cummings. I think he goes wire to wire in the 4th. For 2nd, I went to the 3 Rearview Blue Chip. This horse has been very impressive since coming back for the Jim Graham barn. Billy Davis drives again. For 3rd, I went to the 4 Peter Pumpkin Eater. I think he gets a great trip in here and will be a main danger. And for 4th, I went to the 6 Spring Terror, who absolutely flew home last week to spring a big upset in the opener. So in the 4th, I went to the 1 Oboe Hanover, and he'll make him my best bet of the night.
Well, there's something we can agree on. The one's going right down the road. Hasn't faced a bunch like these in a long time. I was going to make him my best bet, but I'm going to have to pick another one now since you took him first. For 2nd, I went to Peter Pumpkin Eater, 7-hole last start. Week before that, he drew the 4, left right out of there, win by a length. I think he's going to be right behind the 1, getting a good trip. For 3rd, I did go to Spring Terror. Huge win last start, last quarter, 28-3, 58-1. He comes from behind. That's the way he likes to do it. That's where he does his best work. And for the 4th, I went to Rearview Blue Chip, rounding out the Superfecta. Up in class a little bit. Not sure if we can go with these, but we're going to find out.
All right, moving on to race 5, first half of the mid-double. Exacta Trifecta wagering. It's a Class D for optional 4 claimers. I went to the 2 Sagebrush Sharp in here. Kyle Cummings drives for Tammy Cummings. This horse is going to get an absolute dream trip in here. Moves into the 2-hole. He's had terrible posts. You know, hasn't really, last week was his first start in the D. He had the 7-hole, raced hard, just got beat a length and a half. I think this one will follow Dateline Hanover all around the track and beat him late. For 2nd, I did go to the 1 Dateline Hanover, gets Ray Fisher in the bike for Jerry Nugent Jr. This one will definitely be the commander of fractions in here. And for 3rd, I went to the 3 Storybook for Drew Monty and Riley Asher Stallbaum.
I got the same numbers. I just did a little reversal than you did. I actually went to the 3 on top Storybook. I think the 1's obviously going to go down the road here. The 2's going to sit behind him, but I think you're going to have some late pace from Storybook. So I picked him, the 3 on top. For 2nd, I went to Sagebrush Sharp. Going to get a trip out here, probably up the passing lane. And for 3rd, I went to the 1 Dateline Hanover.
Moving on to race 6, Exacta Tri 10-cent Super for a Class C optional 75 claiming event. This will be my live long shot of the night. I went all the way down to the bottom in Barry Hanover. Dave McKnight III drives for Judy Blonde. I think Dave might try to send this one out of there tonight. Not really a whole lot of speed inside of him. I think he could get a spot early. I think this one will be very, very tough in here. For 2nd, I went to the 2 Keystone Keen. Got a few needed starts since the coronavirus break for Kevin Cummings. For 3rd, I went to the 4 Bad Load. Billy Davis teams up with Maria Rice. I think this one rounds out the try. And for 4th, I went to the 3 Pick 6. Dan Yetman drives for Ange Nampo.
I also went to the bottom of the page, but I went to Jimmy CR, not Jimmy RC.
No.
I think this one's going to have some late movement, especially if the 8 takes a shot right out of there. I think he'll be moving late and might get up and nip him at the wire. For 2nd, I did go to Keystone Keen. Same reasons you said. Needed some starts after the COVID-19 break. B class drops to C, Kevin Cummings. Always got to pay attention to who he's driving. And for 3rd, I went to 4 Bad Load. Billy Davis, Maria Rice, don't got to say much more than that. They team up for a lot of winners. Should be right there also. And I'll round out the Super with the 8 Barry Hanover.
All right, moving on to race 7, Exacta Trifecta, first part of the Pick 4 for a Class B. They're optional 12-5 claimers. I went to the 1 Scrub Hanover. Picks up Billy Davis in here for Don Rothfuss. This one missed last week. 2 weeks ago got tracked, was absolutely flying for Drew. Drew's got to drive his own horse in the 2 Macalicious. So I went to the 1 Scrub Hanover. Billy Davis will be just fine on this one off the rail. For 2nd, I went to the 5 Western Conquest. I think Ray will be sending this one on out of there. He will demand the fractions in here. For 3rd, I went to the 2 Macalicious. Drew drives for his father, Darren. This one was first over last week, went a tough trip. In race 7, I go 1-5-2 Scrub Hanover, Billy Davis Jr.
I did go to the 2 Macalicious out of the Darren Monty barn. They claim this horse for $20,000 out of Yonkers. I think he's going to show up here in the B class. He's going to fit in here nicely. For 2nd, actually, I went to the 1 Scrub Hanover, getting Billy Davis Jr. in the bike for Don Rothfuss. 2 start back, like you said, he was flying. Win before that. I think he's going to get a nice trip in here and finish up for 2nd. And I went to the outside for 3rd. I went to Jim's Great. Claimed for 12-5, couple starts back. In for 17-5, raced terrible. Got beat 30 lengths, but I think he's going to have a big correction and finish up for third this week.
All right, moving on. Race 8, it's the Open, Double A, Exacta, Tri, Superfecta betting. I'm going to go to the 1 China Dream. Billy Davis drives for Maria Rice. I think this one is going to get his own way on the front. I don't see many testing the waters against this one early. I think he'll be able to get the half that he needs and then sprint home. I think he'll wire the field. For second, I went to the 2 Hold the Gold. I think he'll be right on his back the whole mile and just miss in the end. For third, I went to the 5 Brunello. This one's been pretty sharp since coming back for Darren Monty. Drew drives this one. I think he'll close up late nice. And for fourth, I went to the 3 Cultural Paradise. Jimmy McKnight Jr. drives for Don Rothfuss. This one has raced really well his first 2 starts back. I think he'll be heard from late too. But in race 8, I'm going for the 1 China Dream. His little legs will be churning in the last turn, and I think he gets the win over the 2 Hold the Gold and the 5 Brunello.
Well, I went to the 2 on top here, Hold the Gold, out of the Jim Clouser Jr. barn. This one's been phenomenal since coming back. Draws the 2 hole here. Going to sit right behind China Dream because we know he's going out of there. Like you said, I don't think many people are going to test the waters here. So I went 2 on top with the 1 for second. For third, I went to the 4 Percy Z-Tam. Getting Kevin Cummings in the bike, double A's, just missing the last couple weeks. To round out the super, I did go down to the 6, Class 6, Sabrina Shaw barn. That one's also been phenomenal. Again, Sean McDonough. I think he's going to close it up late there.
All right. Moving on to race 9, it's another Class D, optional 4-claimer. I go into the 3 here, Inspector Murdoch, Drew Monty, Riley Asher Stahlbaum team up for this one. I think he's going to have some fractions to close into, and I think he'll get the win. For second, I went to the 5 Electric Chapel. This one raced pretty good last week. He did tire late, got beat 12 lengths, but he was right in it up to the 3/4 pole. Dave McKnight picks up the drive. For Don Niles, for third, I went to the 1 8-0 Stoppin'. Classy old timer for Kyle Cummings, will be in the mix the whole mile, must use. And for fourth, I went to the 2 Private Equity. Dan Yetman and Chris Nadel team up for this one. If there's some fractions, I think this one will be closing also.
I had a little of a head scratcher here when I first looked at it. After some calculations, I went to the 4 Ace 44 Don. Hasn't been great. Switch drivers, had Morrow, triple sticks. Now we're getting Billy Davis in the bike leading driver. I think he's going to be able to point this one in the right direction. For second, I went to the 1 8-0 Stoppin'. Always tough off the rail. Should get a good trip in here. If not, he's cutting it. For third, I went to Inspector Murdoch, Riley Asher Stahlbaum, Drew Monty. Always teaming up for late closers, good winners here. And for fourth, I went to the 6 Galleon Major. Had the 8 hole last week, not much there. I think you could throw that one out. Draws inside a little bit to the 6 hole. I think he'll be closing late.
All right. Moving on to race 10, Exacta Trifecta, 10-cent super. It's an AB handicap. I went to the 3 here, Utah Beach. John Cummings Jr. drives for Richie Roth. This horse was ultra impressive last week, wire to wire, 155-4. Billy Davis wasn't driving on this one too hard. Came a really nice back half, 57-2. I don't see much speed inside of him. I think Junior will be able to put this one on the lead, and I think he'll be very tough to beat. For second, I went to the class dropper, the 2 Stratosphere. Drew Monty drives for Father Darren again. This one closed up really well in his last start, 28, 154-2. That's a very big mile. For third, I went to the 5 Charmborough Orbit. Dave McKnight, the 3rd, drives for Milo Zedular. And for fourth, I went to the newcomer, Terror O. Kevin Cummings trains and drives. Only question with this one is the missed time.
You're going to want to box this one, folks, because I went to the 2 on top Stratosphere class dropper. Claimed for $18,000 in Canada. Been great the last start. He was great. I think he's going to draw inside here, be much better. For second, I went to Utah Beach with Junior Cummings for Richard Roth. Big mile last start. Up in class here. I think Junior's still going to put him on the front. I just think Stratosphere is going to be able to run him down. For third, I went to the 5 Charmborough Orbit. Milo Zedular, Dave McKnight the 3rd. Raced great last start. And for fourth, I rounded it out with Terrell, newcomer. Like you said, only question here is time missed.
Absolutely. Moving on to race 11, Exacta Trifecta. This is the first part of the pick 3. I went to the 2 here, Cracked Glass, mare against the boys. I think this one's going to catch a good trip in here. Moves inside the post 2. Kevin Sticks, Kirk Desmond trains. I like this one to get the win. For second, I went to the 1, JV Alert. Denny Bucherri drives for Lynn Fisher. This one got trapped behind Panalytical last week. No shot to win. I think this one has a big shot in here. For third, I went to the 3, Beantown Elijah. Ray Fisher drives for Andy Torrey. This one's had a 7 and 8 hole. 3 hole much better. So in race 11, I went 2-1-3 with Cracked Glass and Kevin Cummings getting my circle.
Well, I went to the 3 on top, Beantown Elijah, Ray Fisher for Andrew Torrey. 7 hole, 8 hole, last 2 starts, draws back inside to the 3. I think Fisher's going to be able to get it done with this one. For second, I went to the 2, Cracked Glass, Kevin Cummings for Kirk Desmond. Raced great actually, and his last start was out of the 6 hole. Looks like he was first up or got parked and finished third. And for third, I rounded it out with American General getting the leading driver on the bike.
All right, moving on to race 12, first half of the late double. Exacta wagering, and 50-cent try, yes. My selection in race 12 is number 3, Southwind Onyx. Kyle Cummings in the bike. I think Kyle's in store for a big night tomorrow. Tammy Cummings trains. I think this one's going to have some early speed. I've been waiting for this one to draw inside. He raced really good his first start, drew 2 7 holes after that, moves into post 3. I really like Southwind Onyx in race 12. For second, I went to the 5, Man Seaver, who just can't seem to get that W. He's been second 3 weeks in a row. I think he'll get another one. For third, I went to the 2, American Nation, Billy Davis, Maria Rice. This one moves inside. I think this one will also be a main factor in here. So in race 12, I went 3-5-2 with Southwind Onyx getting the win.
I went to the 5 on top here, Man Seaver, Kevin Cummings for Jerry Sarama. Near misses last 3 starts. I think he's going to be able to get it done here. Been racing great. 55 and 4 last 2 starts. I think that might be able to get it done here. For second, I went to the 2, American Nation, Maria Rice, Billy Davis Jr. Maria's been on fire, leading trainer. Billy Davis, leading driver. Deadly combination. And for third, I rounded it out with Southwind Onyx. 7 hole, 7 hole. Clash drop. Going to be right there.
Absolutely. Moving on to the finale. Exacta, Trifecta, Superfecta. It's a Class D, Mike. This is one of the best 4-claimers I've ever seen. This is a very good 4-claimer. My selection, though, 10-1 morning line. I really like the 4 Major Authority. Wade Tomaszewski drives for Chris Nadel. Back-to-back 8 holes in Class B and Class C. Now moves into the D, gets the 4 hole. This one has a big brush when Wade moves this one. I think he'll get the win. If you get 10-1, that'll be very nice. For second, I went to the 1, Bubbly Stone. Sean McDonough trains and drives. This one raced super last week. Actually, really raced good the week before also. For third, I went to the 5, Mock, Stock, and Barrel. This one was trapped hopelessly last week behind Expensive Toy at 1-9. I think he picks up some pieces for third. And for fourth, I went to the 7, PC's Espresso. Also a big class dropper. Post 7, my only concern. So in the finale, I went 4-1-5-7. Major Authority, Wade Tomaszewski.
Like you said, great Class D 4-claimer. I went to the 3, Doomside Sport in here. Raced great last start. I think he's going to be able to get it done here. I think you're going to have a little speed on the front. Kevin's going to watch him go at it. For second, I went to Bubbly Stone out of the Sean McDonough barn. Left last week, raced great. Got the rail this week. Should be good too.
Yeah.
For third, I went to the 5, Mock, Stock, and Barrel. Trapped at 1-9 last week. Should be able to pick up all the pieces here. And for fourth, I went to Holler at Your Boy, Drew Monty for Richard Raw. 8 hole last start, finished up second. Just got beat 3.5 lengths. 5 hole before that, second, just got beat by two lengths. I think he'll be able to close up here.
All right, so those are our selections for Saturday night. Sunday, we have stakes at Tioga. Stay tuned for our video on that. Our picks will be out tomorrow for them. Don't forget, check us out, blog, thestretchdrive.blogspot.com. We're on Twitter at thestretchdriving. Don't forget, check out Zambistros, Main Street, Medina. Give them a call, 798-2433. Also, Zambistros.com. Go visit them. Ask for Mike. Tell them the Stretch Drive crew sent you. Till the next time, thanks for joining us. Have a great day.
Thank you.